YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Aku back again with another video. Today I am playing a game called Leave It Alone, which is literally a game about picking up fucking leaves. Let's jump right into the game, get it started. It's a little boring to start because you can only pick up one leaf at a time and you have to individually click leaves. Well, I need 40 cents to get the fluid picker, which means instead of clicking to pick up, I can just hold down the mouse button to pick up leaves. But, alright, whatever. Let's get this fucking front porch done. So I was looking back at some of my old videos, and I just really liked some of that, like, mindless chatting that was going on. And that was kind of inspired from the Lunch in Progress video. I really liked that I could just kind of, like, yap. I was thinking of doing a little bit more yapping in this one. You know what's funny is, like, I'm cleaning leaves in this game, and I should really be doing this at my house. But I haven't picked up a single fucking leaf in my yard. But I've picked up hundreds here today on this front porch. Alright, we can buy a fluid picker now. Alright, now I can just hold down the mouse button, which is a little bit better. So I saw some like gameplay of this game on TikTok, and that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking download it and play it. The guy was cleaning like a pool, which I guess is like a later part of this game. Yeah, there's a bunch of leaves in the pool in the backyard, I guess. But it made me think about, like, I took swimming lessons like just last year because I never learned how to swim. I never had a pool growing up. I lived in the Northeast. My parents never thought it'd be good to have a pool because of the shitty winters that we have, and maintaining that shit in the summer for like 3 months of swimming isn't worth it. So I never had a pool, never learned how to swim. So I decided, you know, I'm going to be a 30-year-old guy going and learning how to swim. So I found this guy that teaches at like an indoor pool in the town near me. And he had an opening, so I went. And I was like, you know what, fuck it. If it's ever a time to learn, it's now, you know, better late than never. So I go, and he double booked that day, right? And this other guy is like the best swimmer I've ever seen. He's like Michael Phelps incarnate. And he's just the coach is like so pumped. He's like, yeah, good job, Brian, you're so good at swimming. And the coach was like this old Russian guy, so whenever he got mad, he starts speaking in Russian and saying shit to me that I don't understand, but like he's saying it in a way that you do fucking understand what he's saying. Like, all right, like maybe I don't really know what the words mean, but I can feel what you just said. So he's yelling at me because I can't float on my back. You know, I never fucking learned, right? I thought this is what I was here for. I thought this guy was gonna fucking help me, you know, learn some basic strokes and shit. He's just yelling at me. But in between yelling at me, he'd be like, good job, Brian. And then he'd just be like, fuck you, Aku. And I'm just like, bro, like, all I want to do is, if I fall into the water, I want to fucking survive. Now, one thing about Brian that I forgot to mention is he's 9 years old. He's 9 years old, and he's been taking swimming lessons with my coach for about 4 years. So this guy's been swimming since he was 5, and he can fucking breaststroke at like lightning speed across the fucking pool, and everyone loves him. But me, I get yelled at for very simple things that I should know, but I'm not getting taught. Anyways, Brian and I are getting lunch next week. Yeah, in case you're wondering, this is literally the whole game. There's no surprises. It's literally just picking up leaves. You know, sometimes it's nice not to play a competitive game, you know? I've been playing mostly Deadlock, and that game stresses me out because I have to be so aware all the time. But instead of doing that, I can just pick up leaves and fucking kick back for a little bit. It's nice to just take a break. Alright! Front porch done! We can tie bags now. Off the back wall, re-grab, Kobe. Fucking clean! My dad would always yell at me to like rake the leaves. But the problem was we only had 2 rakes, and one was broken, right? So it was literally like the head of the rake, and then half the stick, because the stick was broken in half. And he'd obviously take the good rake, and I would be using this fucking piece of shit half-broken rake. And then he would fucking yell at me because I'm raking slower than he is, and there's a million leaves to get to. But I started the game with a handicap. This guy's got like a 5 kill streak. Precision airstrike. I haven't even gotten attachments on my gun yet. It's not like I'm asking for much. I just want a fucking handle so I can rake the leaves. And I never backtalked either. Like, I wasn't like, hey, I'm not gonna rake the fucking leaves. I just wanted a rake that worked. The one thing about fall that was super fun with the leaves was we had a trampoline in our backyard, so we would like just pile up a giant bunch of leaves onto the trampoline and then like jump onto it, because we had like a back porch too, and you like kind of go off to the side of the back porch, and then just jump onto the trampoline from the porch. It wasn't that high up, it was maybe like 10-12 feet, nothing crazy. There was one time I was smaller and I didn't know how to land properly, so I had an older cousin that would like climb down the porch into the backyard and then jump at the very end, you know, because, you know, his legs didn't reach the ground from the very top of the porch. But I always saw it as him just like jumping from the top of the porch onto the ground. Like, that's how I remembered it. And I was like, you know, maybe I can do that. I was like 8 at the time. So I got to the side of the porch and I literally just jumped straight off and landed in the yard, and I sprained my fucking ankle. And I didn't tell anyone, right? You know, I was 8. I was scared that my parents were going to be pissed at me for doing something so stupid. So I didn't tell anyone. I just hobbled back into the living room and then laid down on the couch and then turned the TV on and just put on some cartoons and just pretended I was there the whole time. And it was crazy because like my dad was in the backyard. Like, he could have easily seen that I jumped off the porch, but he didn't even fucking notice. And there's a window that looks out to the porch, and that's where the window is connected to the kitchen. And my mom was in the kitchen, so she could have easily seen me through the window, but nobody fucking noticed. That kitchen window has seen some crazy shit. My dad was always like, play baseball over to the side so that we don't hit the house whenever we hit the ball. And one time he was like demoing how to hit the ball like up into the air, like catching the ball underneath with the bat. So he was trying to show me how to get underneath the ball, right? And he smacks the ball so fucking hard right into the kitchen window. And my mom was like washing dishes, which is like literally she's staring at the window. So this ball shows up right at her face and it gets caught by the screen. And all you hear is her scream. And my dad, without even thinking, just fucking throws the bat at me. And he was like, yo, Aku, what the fuck, dude? And my mom's like, are you serious? And my dad's like, dude, I told you, always play on the side of the yard. And I was like, there's no fucking way I am getting blamed for this shit right now. You fucking piece of shit, Pops. You kidding me? Help a brother out, bro. So I got fucking chewed out by my mom for that one. My dad's just sitting in the corner giggling. And I was like, what a piece of shit you are, bro. Another really stupid thing I did was my brother and I would play tag a lot, but we like leveled up our tag game every now and then. So like at one point I got a pogo stick, so the person that's chasing would have to be on a pogo stick, and that shit got wild, right? But the best one we played was when we were both on our bikes. So both the tagger and the taggee, I don't even know if that's the right word, but they were both on bikes, and I was the one tagging. I was chasing my brother through the yard, and I reached out to like tag him at one point, and he just fucking swerves off. So I miss, but I've already committed to the tag, so I'm like falling forward off my bike. I fall off my bike and I land into this pile of grass, right? But at the bottom was a rock, and it was like kind of sticking out of the ground, and my knee landed right on the rock, and it like went into my knee to the point where I could see bone through the top of my knee. I still have a scar from it, but yeah, like I freaked the fuck out. I thought I was gonna lose my knee forever and shit. You know, I was young. But yeah, a lot of stupid shit happened in that yard. Not just that yard. My brother and I would play like stupid ass games. There's one game where it was basically like chicken, like who's more of a chicken, and we would like poke each other's eyes. So we would take turns like poking each other's eyes, and if you like move back and flinch or try to dodge it, you lost. Stupid game. Nobody won anything, but we played shit like that. Honestly, those games are probably why I'm like, my whole body is breaking down now at 30. One of my favorite things to do as a kid was just like lay down on the trampoline and just look up at the sky and not do anything. You know, I'd do it with like a fucking ice pop or some shit. Just vibe in there. It's quiet. It wasn't too quiet because the house, my parents' house, was like near a like shooting range. So there's always gunshots going off in the distance. But besides that, it was pretty chill. Just laying there, staring up at the sky, feeling like I'm on a map of Call of Duty. There's nothing chiller. I'm definitely not playing this whole game in this video. That would be fucking torture for everyone. You know what's crazy is like, I played all these like crazy yard games growing up. And nowadays when I see people, like my younger cousins and shit, playing outside, they're just like on their phones or on their iPad or whatever. No one's really like doing anything. I have been seeing more people riding their bikes in town, which is, it feels good. I like seeing people out and about. Because I mean, yeah, I gamed a lot. Because we did grow up in like this time that had such great consoles and games coming out. But I did go outside still, you know, I did. I mean, I was always on my bike. We used the trampoline every day. Probably why my knees are so fucked. Yeah, we had like a swing set in the backyard. My dad had like a, not really a tire swing, but like a tree swing. Like he found a random tree and put like a little swing on it. Don't get me wrong, I was gaming crazy, but yeah, it was nice to just go outside and chill. It's funny like thinking back on the games that I used to play versus what I play now. I mean, once I got into Call of Duty, I was playing a lot of Call of Duty. Like every year a new COD would come out, obviously, and I'd play those. I'm playing a lot of Deadlock right now, which is kind of like a MOBA, but it's a first-person shooter MOBA. And that's been a nice little change of pace, but like it's still a shooter at the end of the day, right? Whereas like back in the day, I was playing like anything. I mean, like thinking back, like way back, I'd be playing like Sonic on Sega Genesis, or any of the Super Marios on Super Nintendo, Super Smash Bros. On GameCube. But even when I got my like Xbox and my PlayStations, you would think I would just be playing Halo or COD or Gears of War, but I was playing like the old DBZ fighting games or the WWE games, the wrestling games, just like random ass games. PlayStation 3, I was playing this shooter called Resistance 2, and that shit was so fire online. PlayStation 1, I was playing games like WWF and Siphon Filter, Crash Bandicoot, the Spyro games. Like, there was a lot more variety in the games that I played, and I know there's a lot of variety in games today, but a lot of it is like slop like this that I'm playing. And it does distract me for a little while, but I do miss like cool ass games like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. I wish those licenses came back so I can play those games again. And I know there was like a Crash Bandicoot remastered, but you know, I want some new content. Maybe like an open world Crash or an open world Spyro. Spyro would go crazy. Spyro was so revolutionary. It's like you're actually playing as a dragon and like flying around. It's like just so cool to just fly around. Or Spider-Man 2, the movie game. That's probably the best movie game ever made. Like it was literally just the Spider-Man 2 movie made into a game, but the swing mechanics were crazy. It was insane. I remember watching a YouTube video where the developer that not invented, but like was one of the first people to work on the swinging mechanics in Spider-Man games, talked about how going from Spider-Man 2 to all the other games in between that and the PlayStation 4 version of Spider-Man, because Spider-Man on PlayStation 4 had amazing swing mechanics, and before that Spider-Man 2 is probably the next best. And yeah, like before that, Spider-Man 1, instead of like actually having the web stick to buildings and shit, it would just stick to the sky. Like it didn't make any sense. But I guess the developers didn't really know how to implement the swing mechanics at the time. And it was just cool like listening to the dev talk about how they got to the point where Spider-Man 2 was the inspiration behind the PlayStation 4 version. Oh, how could I forget the GTA games? Like GTA 3 was great, and then Vice City came out, you can ride motorcycles, and that was fucking awesome. Laid the groundwork for the GTAs that we see today. Still waiting on GTA 6, but all good. It's crazy to me that I played GTA 5 on so many consoles. I'm pretty sure I had it on 360 and then Xbox One, and then I got it again for PS4 and then PC. Like it just made it through all these consoles, right? Am I wrong about 360? I can't remember which console I played on it first, but that just shows you like how long GTA has been out. GTA 5. We had a basketball hoop in our front yard, which was always awesome. I'd play with my dad when he got home from work. My dad would get home from work around like 5. We'd just shoot hoops for a little while, and we played a one-on-one for money. 20 bucks on the line. It would basically be like the same $20 bill moving back and forth between us, but it's like a fun thing that I looked forward to every time he got home from work. Now that I work a 9 to 5, like I understand it. Like my dad put in the fucking works, because he would work longer than 8-hour shifts. I think he worked like 10-hour shifts. And he would come home at 5, obviously exhausted, but still put in energy to play a game of basketball with me. And it was pretty much every day. Like, there were some days where he was like way too tired and I'd be bummed out that he didn't want to play, but the fact that he even had energy to do anything after a 10-hour shift, and I'm exhausted after 8, and most of my job is just sitting at a fucking desk, it's like, it's admirable, you know? I'm still not going to forgive him for the whole baseball through the window thing, but it was admirable of him to play basketball with me. Take some fucking responsibility for your own actions. What the fuck you doing? You're supposed to be setting an example for me. I'm going to narc on my fucking kid. It's your fault. For all you folks that had trampolines, did you ever like launch people? If you like time the jump where like one person's landing and the other person's about to take off, and you just like transfer the motion so that the other person goes flying. We used to do that with my cousins, and they would always do it to me because I was the tiniest. I weighed like 60 pounds in middle school. I was this fucking scrawny little kid, and my cousins were like 6 feet tall, just fucking huge. And they would always launch me, and I would go fucking flying, dude. It felt like Team Rocket in Pokemon, like just fucking blasting off. Oh, the craziest shit I've seen on the trampoline is I was teaching one of my cousins how to front flip, because I could land my front flips. So I was showing him how to do it, and this motherfucker didn't even look where he was on the trampoline. He's just like, I'm gonna flip right here, right now. And just guess where he was fucking looking, right? He was looking off the trampoline. So this guy hits his front flip, eyes closed because he's afraid of like the motion of flipping, and he just front flips right off the fucking trampoline, lands on his ass on the floor, and obviously he's in pain, and he's cursing me out. And I'm like, bro, I just taught you how to flip. I didn't show you which fucking direction to go. I figured that part was self-explanatory. All these motherfuckers are getting me in trouble when I'm little for no reason at all. Yeah, like it's my fault that you decided, hey, I'm gonna front flip with my eyes closed off the trampoline and get hurt. It was good times though. The trampoline was the best. I still remember the day the trampoline broke. We had a crazy storm here, and the wind was blowing crazy, and a tree fell, and one of the branches went straight through the trampoline, like absolutely shattered the trampoline in half. I feel like if I got on a trampoline now though, I'd be tired in like 20 seconds. But damn, that nostalgia would hit nice. Eventually, instead of like just innocent fun times in the yard, it turned into straight debauchery, you know? The boys getting together, having some beers in the yard, smoking hookah in the yard. I still remember when I bought a hookah in college. I always hid it because I was afraid like my parents would be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing, you know? And then like my dad was the first to find out of my parents. And he was like, yo, let me get a hit of that. He's fucking smoking with us. And then when my mom found out, I thought she would be fucking pissed. But instead of getting mad at me, she just was like, yo, why didn't you tell me you had this earlier? When we had guests over, we could have lit this shit. And I was like, damn, I didn't know you guys were here to fucking party like that. I never would have hit it. I remember I went to a friend's wedding, and there was a certain point where I had too much to drink and I just blacked out. And the next thing I remember was waking up under a sink at a hotel that was like 20 miles away from where the wedding was, and my car was still at the wedding venue, so I didn't drive obviously, but somehow someone took me to this hotel, and I ended up getting up and leaving. I didn't really do any investigating because I was disoriented and I wanted to get the fuck out of there. But it was funny, it was like, I remember so vividly some things from that night where I was dancing on the dance floor, I had to pee, so I went to pee, and then in the boys' bathroom there was just a congregation of all these people, like just chilling, like shooting the shit in the bathroom. So I spent a lot of time just chopping shop with all these people in the bathroom, and then I go back to the dance floor after I pee and shit, and I was doing the Cotton Eye Joe, which, by the way, I hate at weddings, but I was drunk enough to not give a fuck, right? So I'm doing the Cotton Eye Joe at the wedding, and that's the last thing I remember. The next thing I remember is waking up under that fucking sink. Well, we got the entire front yard done. I think that's enough. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. If you like this type of content where I'm just kind of yapping over gameplay, let me know. I'll make more content like this. I'll also leave a comment if there's any game suggestions that you have for me to play. Other than that, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.